I think voting is kind of important. I'm not really a big voter. I'm not really big into politics. And I feel like that some people can vote if they want to vote. If you don't want to vote, you shouldn't have to vote.
I think it's always good to have your say in things, especially if it's something very big.
I think that voting is pretty important, especially I don't know, with this election, just understanding understanding how you think about it and then making a good decision.
Yeah. Voting is so important. It's our duty as citizens to vote if we want to have any say in what our government does.
I think it's important because if you want to have a say in the way the country is going to be run, you need to go and act on that and vote.
I think voting is very important. I think living in a democracy, we all have our viewpoints, we all have our ideas of how the country should be run, and we have people who want to represent those principles and those ideas, and the only way to perpetuate your ideas is to vote people to represent those that align with how you see the world, see society. And some elections are very close, and every vote really does make a difference in those results.
I think voting is very important, especially if you're a person who is going to criticize whoever does get elected or comment on them, because, if you have an option to have a say, then you should do that. So I think it is important. Definitely, I think it's a duty as a citizen of the U.S. And a citizen of anywhere to vote, essentially. But, I think it's important.
I think voting is essential because we're American citizens and we have that right to vote, and you don't really have a right to complain about a candidate unless you vote.
Do you know who you're voting for this year?
Actually, I don't.
You don't? Do you have any opinions about the election this year?
I know that a lot of people are very upset with either candidate, and there's a lot of biased opinions out there, so I'm trying to do my research on bias so I can create my own opinion.
I don't think I'm going to vote for either Donald or Hillary.
Yeah. Do you know who you're voting for this year?
Yes.
Yes. Who are you voting for?
Gary Johnson.
Gary Johnson. And why are you voting for him? Because he is a great third-party candidate that isn't too far to one side. I feel like both of the candidates right now we have are both extremes. And rather than pick the lesser of the evils, I picked someone that's a little bit more in the middle.
Ooh. I really don't know.
You don't know? Why don't you know who you're voting for?
Because I'm not a big fan of the major candidates right now, so I might just go third party.
Come November, will be voting for Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump, I think, is the antithesis to everything I believe as a Christian. I think if you look at the Bible, there is this narrative of Jesus going up to bat for the marginalized, for those in society that have been forgotten about, the poor, the weak, and I think that is the entire foundation of Hillary Clinton's campaign. I think it's the complete opposite of Donald Trump's campaign. We see Hillary Clinton, who has a history of successful policies that have helped poor families, working class families, and Donald Trump, he bases credibility on the fact that he is very rich. In fact, just last week, he claimed he was smart because he avoided paying taxes for 20 years. And the way he disparages women, the way he talks about immigrants, I cannot see my values leading me to ever vote for a man of that stature.
Okay. Are you going to vote in this year's election?
I plan to. The problem is I have no idea who I'm going to vote for. But I think I will vote, even if it's to a third party that'll probably be a throwaway, but I will vote.